Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Sunday, January 22nd, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want to access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Bills vs Bengals. Two Pro Bowl quarterbacks will face off for their largest confrontations of the season. We got a taste of what to expect when these two teams met each other earlier in January. The game was cut short after Damar Hamlin's medical emergency. Now, with the stakes and anticipation never higher, the Buffalo Bills will host the Cincinnati Bengals for the AFC Divisional matchup. Both teams won in a rather uncomfortable fashion in the wildcard matchups. Buffalo started off hot, but Josh Allen's 3 turnovers allowed the Dolphins to wriggle their way back into the game. The Bills came up with a 4th down stop with just over 2 minutes to go, allowing them to run the clock out and advance. A 98-yard fumble return for a TD lifted the Bengals over the Ravens in their wildcard contest. The Ravens largely controlled the game, but the Bengals made key plays when they needed to. Joe Burrow tossed for 1 TD and 209 yards. The Bengals have been overlooked for much of the season, so it's not surprising to see them as an underdog here. What is surprising is the point margin. A look at the two quarterbacks in recent games has me leaning towards the Bengals. Burrow has thrown for a 70% completion rate in his last 3 games and has 5 touchdown passes and just 2 interceptions. He protected the ball against Baltimore last week, avoiding any interceptions. Allen, however, has struggled with turnovers over his last 3 games. Allen is completing just 59% of his passes in that span, while throwing 8 touchdowns and throwing 5 interceptions. On the season, Buffalo is ranked just 15th in the NFL turnover differential, while the Bengals are a solid 5th. While the Bengals' offensive line issues are concerning, Burrow has experience dealing with such issues. Look for running backs Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine to get a lot of short looks out of the backfield to protect Burrow. Allen is healthier than he's been since the beginning of the season, but has struggled with turnovers. He now faces a Bengals defense that has 10 sacks in their last 3 games. In many ways, this game is a toss-up, and I would not be shocked if it went to overtime. I just think this is a case of too many points, and the issues for the Bills in putting away Miami last week really opened my eyes a bit. Cincinnati was in cruise control early in the meeting between the two earlier this season, before the previously mentioned incident on the field, and I think if the game had carried on as normal, that Cincinnati would have taken it to the Bills. Our team pick is Cincinnati plus 5 points. The Bengals have some concerns with injuries on the offensive line, but this Cincinnati offense is too good just to be handing points out to. Give me Cincinnati and the points here. The Bengals are one of the most pass-heavy offenses in the league, and Buffalo throws the ball at a high rate in their own right. The Bills' offense was very good against Miami and totaled 4 touchdowns. Miami was able to effectively move the ball with their 3rd-string quarterback in. Cincinnati's offense looked sluggish against Baltimore, but they will push all their chips to the center of the table in this contest, as the Bills' offense is more potent than Baltimore's. Burrow and Chase have been one of the best duos in the NFL, and they will connect on 3rd downs the Bengals have to have. Our total pick is over 49 points. Both of these teams have been incredibly efficient in the red zone this season, and I expect that to continue here. Dallas Cowboys vs San Francisco 49ers. The last game of the divisional playoffs features a vintage matchup between Dallas and San Francisco on Sunday. The Cowboys, 13-5, won big at Tampa Bay on Monday night, 31-14, as minus 2.5 favorites. The 49ers, 14-4, squashed the Seahawks at home last Saturday, 41-23, as minus 10 favorites. A trip to the NFC Championship is on the line at Levi's Stadium, with kickoff scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Dallas Cowboys are coming off of a surprisingly dominant victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they knocked Tom Brady out of the postseason endeavors. During the victory, the Cowboys earned 425 total yards, with 297 yards being through the air and 128 yards being on the ground. Dak Prescott threw for 305 yards and 4 touchdowns in the dominant outing. Defensively, Dallas surrendered 334 passing yards and just 52 rushing yards. Prescott's strong performance allowed his team to advance further into the postseason, however, he will face his toughest opponent yet, the 49ers defense. The Cowboys have 2 key defenders questionable with DeMarcus Lawrence, 43 solo, 6 SACK, 3 FF, and Jaron Kearse, 55 solo, 1 FF, 1 INT, 5 PD, being injured. The San Francisco 49ers have a high-caliber defense and an elite offense. With Purdy under center, the 49ers offense has been very successful. Purdy has thrown 2 or more touchdowns in 7 consecutive games and will be looking to make that 8 games when they face the Cowboys. On defense, the 49ers have been unstoppable, earning big tackles, forcing turnovers, and forcing downs. This will happen against the Cowboys, especially because Prescott hasn't faced this defense yet and will turn the ball over. He made offense look easy against the Buccaneers, but that won't be the case this time. Purdy and McCaffrey will come up big on offense, while Bosa and Gibson Sr. come up big on the defense. The Cowboys finally seemed destined to break through and looked good enough on Monday to do so. The unfortunate thing is they are now up against a juggernaut of a Niners team that has been dominant on both sides of the ball. San Francisco has tons of weapons, and Kyle Shanahan knows how to use them. Top weapon McCaffrey seems just the shot they needed, as the Niners have yet to lose a game straight up since he arrived. More importantly for us, they are 9-2 against the spread in that stretch. The Seahawks had the second best defense in terms of yards during the regular season, allowing just 239 total yards per game, and they got absolute decimated by the Niners. Even if Dallas can get the pressure they like to get with their defensive front, Purdy is mobile enough to get out of more than he is caught up in. Our team pick is San Francisco 49ers minus 3.5 points. The last time these teams met was in the wild card last season, and San Francisco won straight up and against the spread. Last week these 2 teams put up a combined 72 points against some solid defenses. Of course, both of these teams have strong defenses as well, but when these 2 get together, that seems to go out the window. The over is 8-3 in the last 11 meetings. San Francisco has had their last 4 games go over and 6 of their last 7. The over is also 6-0 in the Niners' last 6 on grass. Our total pick is over 46.5 points. Take away the last game of the regular season where the Cowboys scored just 6 points, and over their last 6 games, they've averaged 35.5 points per game. I like this one to turn into a classic old school NFC shootout.